Hello, beautiful friends in this Facebook group. I'm jumping in, Monday message. Those of you who are back into school, runs and activities and all of that, I'm just at the basketball drop-off. So I was like, perfect. I can jump in and do a little hello to everyone and just have a little chat, see how you are all going. Let me know who's on. Hope that you guys are well. So I was just thinking about what message I want to share, and I'm kind of conflicted with two different messages. So maybe I'll try and share them both. Share them one. Because one of the messages is this reminder. It's so hard for our logical brain to remember that we are one collective consciousness of love. But we so appear to be individual, don't we? It's like, but you can see this individual form here, and you have your own individual form, each of you, this beautiful masterpiece, this vessel that you've been gifted or that you chose to walk through this human experience, through this realm, because without the body you cannot experience this realm in the way that we do. And so when, for example, energies or guides, ascended masters come through me, they often comment on the physicality. So it'll often be like, they get to kind of have this feeling of the hands, or love sitting down in my body and being in the body, because where they are, they don't have this physicality. So yes, we have this physicality, and some of it, I've just been reminded as I'm talking about physicality. So I'm oversharers, right? But I've just whipped my shoes off here to do this, and it's in this hot car, and I'm just got a whiff of my feet that stink. And so that's part of the human existence, to the physicality, which has stuff like that. Don't mind me and my craziness. So one of my messages is this reminder that although we look individual, we are one collective energy, and that our thoughts matter. Our thoughts have a resonance, have a frequency, our words. And I was having a conversation with my daughter about this, that, even if we think something about someone, that thought is not insignificant, and it's not that it doesn't matter, it matters. Because every thought we have, we are sending something out into this collective consciousness, this collective soup. And all of it has to manifest somewhere. And a lot of stuff has been manifesting. A lot of stuff has been coming up to the surface with everything that's been happening. And humans have created all the stuff that's coming forth right now. Right? So my first message is just this big reminder. I know the same message comes again and again and again, but to remember that we are one energy. We are always connected. We are never alone. Never alone. Some people feel like, I'm so alone, or I'm disconnected, or I'm this, or I'm that, and that's our human self. But the divine within us, this spark of divinity that ignites us and is our whole real energy center, that is never alone. It is always connected to the unseen forces beyond this planet. So that's my first message. My second message is, for those of you who are living a life that you're really pressed, right? You are having to chase your tail a bit. You feel like you're kind of rushing around. You can never get through the to-do list. I have created a life where I've really got to slow down. And it's taken a lot of discipline, a lot of decisions and all of those things, but I've been able to, I feel, really slow down. But in the last 2 weeks, I reverted back to that previous life of mine, which was boom, 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 just, when you're just going from one thing to the next and you don't have chance to ring this one back or send that message back. And I had this list of about 15 things flying around my head the last couple of days. And I was just thinking, God, this feels overwhelming and exhausting, because I was just feeling scattered. Because we moved house just before kids started school, and it was just a massive task, which we've moved lots of times. Mark and I have moved 10 times in our 22-year relationship. But for some reason, this particular move is just, it felt like it was just hours and hours, hundreds of hours. So what I took from that today, as I was in my busy life, for those of you who are still really kind of pressed up against things, or even if you've got the slowness in and you've got more of the consciousness and the awareness of how you're spending your time and all of those things, what I found today, even a day where I felt really pressed for time, there were just moments that you can grab. There are moments that you can stop and you can pause time, because you are the commander of time. And when we bring our awareness to that, it's like, hang on, why am I, whoa. We are the commanders of this. And it's very easy just to get caught up in the game of life. And so today there was just a couple of things where, I was trying to get unpacked, and my daughter brought me this beautiful crepe, and normally I'd just kind of like keep getting unpacked and have my crepe, but I was like, you know what? I'm going outside, I'm sitting on this rock, and I'm just stopping, and I'm just going to enjoy this moment. So for you throughout your day, where are the moments that you can just stop and bring awareness? Stop and have that cup of tea. Stop and just read a page of a book. Like what it is, whatever it is for you, so that, the things that all have to be done don't kind of pull you away from your awareness, pull you away from your center, pull you away from that observer part of you. So all along, as we're going through this human life, oh my God, I'm like a sauna in here. It's so hot. We have like these two conversations going on, right? We've got we've got stuff happening. We've got like sometimes, and then we've got this observer part of ourselves that's asking, questions or noticing things. And that's the place we want to go to more and more. Because when we bring the awareness, because when we're just in that, got to get this, do that, go do that, right? Then we're trapped in the game. We're trapped in thinking that this is all real. Thinking that all of these things are so significant and so important. And yes, life is meaningful and all of that. But just stepping back in those moments and just going, hang on, I'm just experiencing a bit of overwhelm here. I'm just experiencing a bit of, like, for me, I've just been a bit shitty today, which my husband has noticed. Don't they always notice that? He actually said to me as I was driving out to basketball, he goes, I've got a feeling that when you come home from basketball, you're going to be in a better mood. He's like, do you think? That was his way of going, you've been a bit of a bitch. You've been a bit shitty. You've not been very, because I'd forgotten how it feels actually to feel a bit pressed, to feel a bit overwhelmed, to feel a bit exhausted. And it's just, pushed up against us this. So just to take those moments and also to laugh at yourself, right? And then if you have been a bit like that, like I've been a bit with my husband today, maybe a bit snappy, then drop into that. Like, what is that really about? What is it really about? Why am I snappy? And I tell you why I was snappy. And it wasn't my husband's fault. One thing is I actually had a really bad dream last night, which I rarely have. And I woke up at 5:30 this morning, and I felt like it was so real that I actually struggled to shake my dream. I wasn't sure which world was real. So that was one thing. So that wasn't his fault, but I was snappy at him. And the second thing was that I was a bit disappointed in myself, that I wasn't able to keep everything afloat and keep everything organized. And I was a bit all over the fucking shop, to the point that mums who are out there, you're going to laugh at this. So last night, it's like 9 o'clock, and Mark and I are finally sitting down, having just packed and moved and loads and trucks and blah, 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 blah. And, well, no, we didn't move yesterday, but he was still bringing stuff back on his ute for extra things. So it's 9 o'clock, and I sit down to Mark and I said, Mark, I don't even know when Sam, who's our fourth kid, our 4-year-old, I said, I don't know if he's actually starting kinder tomorrow. I've actually got no idea what day he starts. I don't know what time it is. I don't have a freaking clue. And it's like 9 o'clock the night before. I just got no idea because I've just like dropped the ball on all that along with a lot of other stuff, organizational stuff. Then it got really funny in my house because my little boy's in April baby, and he's going to 4-year-old kinder, so he could actually go to school. And so then Mark and my older daughter were thinking, well, why don't we just send him to school tomorrow? He could go to school tomorrow. And then they dressed him up in his school outfit, put a bag on him, and they're like, what about that? Do you want to go to school tomorrow? Who's Sam, who's supposed to go to 4-year-old kinder. And I was so fucking tired. I was like, do you know what? I said, Mark, if you want to like organize all that, can you imagine? He rocks up to the school. We haven't enrolled him. He doesn't have a class. Like, the teachers will be like besides themselves. Like, if you want to sort all that out, mate, go for it. But I don't think it's such a great idea. In the end, I think my husband, the idea of him having to like do it all and organize it, because I do all that kind of stuff in our relationship, and he's like, okay, no, yeah, maybe not. Anyway, I'm rabbiting on, but the key messages are to remember you're never alone. We are all connected. We're kind of playing a game and an illusion here. The truth is we are pure love consciousness, seeking to express itself through us, through the human form, but we can get trapped in so much of the distraction, so much of the stuff, the rush, the everything, right? So just to remember where you can, to slow down. And even you can kind of hear, I think, in my voice that I'm a bit frenzied today, like I'm a bit rushy, which I need to like calm the farm and just slow it down. Find those moments in your day, friends, where you can just have a little moment. It doesn't have to be, an hour meditation. You can bring yourself back to presence through small little moments, little rituals, just stopping, when your child's asking something of you and you're in the middle of something else or whatever, and just stop and just give that attention. Even just here, look in the eyes, look in the eyes, look in the eyes. Look in the eyes as much as you can, as much as we can, because when we look into the eyes, I've done this